6:08, state troopers are investigating a deadly home invasion.
KSB says the two who died were not victims and the shooter was younger than 18. Destiny Quinn is at the alert desk to explain.
Victor and Mariah, when two men broke into a home with plans to steal firearms from a safe, they were met by an armed juvenile. At around 4:30 Saturday, the Manchester Police Department responded to a house in the city of Manchester. There they determined the two men had forced their way into the house. The juvenile resident of the home found the intruders holding firearms and allegedly acted in self-defense, shooting the two men before escaping through a bedroom window. The two men were later identified as Roger Smith of McKee and Jeffrey Allen of Manchester. Both have since died. This is a developing story as the investigation is ongoing. WKYT will continue following it and bring you the latest. From the Alert Desk, I'm Destiny Quinn.
One man is dead after police say he accidentally entered the wrong apartment and was shot. The Bowling Green Police Department says they responded around 1 a.m. on Sunday to a reported burglary in progress at 1317 Scottsville Road. Police say while on the way there, the caller remained on the phone with dispatch and reported that someone was actively kicking the door into the apartment. When officers arrived, they found a man made entry into the apartment and found a man who was shot and killed by the resident. The individual killed has been identified as 23-year-old Matthew Maggart, a resident of that apartment complex. Police say evidence suggests he was impaired and accidentally entered the wrong apartment. The investigation is still ongoing. News 40 will update you as new details are released.
Just before 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, Clinton Township police say the robbery suspect, who was armed, walked into the Golden Donuts on Harper Avenue. Moments after he demanded cash, investigators say the cashier shot him. The suspect then left in his car but didn't make it too far. He crashed at the nearby Sunoco gas station at 15 and Harper. After police pulled the suspect from his car, he died at the hospital. As police checked the donut store for evidence, they questioned the cashier.
They were fully cooperative. Did a interview with them, and they were released from the station pending further investigation, but we do believe this to be self-defense. Any loss of life is tragic. I mean, I'm not completely familiar, but I'm sure this gentleman had a family to some degree. The unfortunate part is he lost his life, committing a crime that quite frankly put, somebody else's life in jeopardy.
That was Fox News' Brandon Hudson reporting. Police say they're looking at the video from inside and outside that donut shop, but as of now, we're told it appears to be a case of self-defense.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting in which a suspect was shot and killed during a home invasion. Two others ran away. This happened at an apartment complex on Leawood Boulevard at Bissonnet in Southwest Houston. Maria Aguilera is there tonight with details of the chaotic moments. Maria.
That shooting happened at an apartment to my right over here on the second floor. Now, officials tell me 3 men went in and assaulted a man who lives here. And at some point, one of the suspects was shot and died at the hospital. Now, tonight, I spoke with the father of the man who lives there, and he tells us how things unfolded. It happened at this apartment complex off Leawood near Bissonnet around noon. Officials tell me it appears it was a home invasion and that the man who lives here was pistol whipped. 3 suspects were involved, and 1 was shot, then taken to a hospital where he died. Police are looking for the other 2. Now, I spoke with the father of the man who lives here. He tells me his son called to say some men were trying to enter his apartment. So his dad called a friend who was nearby to help. When the friend got here, he found the man who lives here tied up, being choked with an extension cord.
My friend was able to get his pistol, and they let my son go. One of the guys dropped the pistol, and third party came out of the closet, out of the room. And then they started scuffling, and my son started shooting. So my son was able to shoot his way out of there.
I don't think it's a random attack. I don't think the public should be worried about a random attack.
Officials say no charges have been filed, and at last check, no one is in custody. The cause of the home invasion is under investigation. The father of the resident confirms his son is out of the hospital, recovering from 16 stitches to his head and a concussion. At this time, there's no description of the suspects involved. Officials on scene tell us that they are looking at video to try to identify the suspects. In Southwest Houston, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
But we need information from others in the public, whether it be people who saw something, people who have video cameras that recorded the incident or saw the suspects leaving the scene.
Tonight, the search for answers after a deadly shooting on the northeast side of Indianapolis. 4 men hit by gunfire. One of them was killed. Our Logan Gay spent hours at the scene today. She talked with the family of one of the survivors. They are experiencing a flood of emotions tonight.
Family members of one of the gunshot victims tell me they're thankful their loved one is alive and is recovering, but they tell me things in that house will never be the same. According to police, 2 of the 4 men shot were found inside this home on the northeast side, and investigators believe 1 or more suspects ran from the scene. This woman, who asked to speak anonymously, says her great-uncle owns the home and is one of the people injured. She says the home is the gathering spot for family functions and has been in the family for more than 45 years.
It's sad to have somebody in that house laying on the floor, you know. Like I said, it'll never be the same.
Police are still investigating the motive behind the shooting, but she believes it was an attempted robbery.
I said it's a blessing my uncle's alive, because they came to take him out.
This woman is a close friend to the 69-year-old man. She lives a few houses away. She says she was making breakfast when she heard the shooting started.
All of a sudden, just mayhem, a bunch of gunfire.
The bullets going through her home, whizzing by her and her family inside.
You get on the floor and you hope that it stops. And you pray.
This video she shared with 13 News shows her walls riddled with bullet holes. She says many of the neighbors like herself have lived in this neighborhood for years. And it's sad to see their street become a crime scene, littered with dozens of evidence markers.
I'm not a military girl, but I am from the 46218.
She says her friend didn't deserve this.
He loves his family and his friends. He's 70 years old.
As they wait for more information about the suspect, these women are just grateful their loved one is still alive.
I'm just blessed that he's okay, and I'll just pray for the ones that didn't make it.
In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
To stop an armed robbery in the middle of the day, and the suspect ended up getting shot. This all happened near South Laverne and West Congress Parkway this afternoon. Police say someone tried to rob a 68-year-old woman at gunpoint, but a man nearby started fighting with that suspect. That's when the suspect was shot in the leg. Neither the woman or the bystander was hurt.
Shoplifter was shot this afternoon by the store's employee in Southeast Houston, according to police.
Yeah, and the alleged shoplifter was also carrying a chainsaw as he attacked the store employee. Reporter Micah Hatfield is at the scene and joins us live. So, Micah, have police said why he was carrying a chainsaw?
No, Eric, not at this point. That's one of the more confusing details of what happened here today. But like you mentioned, Houston police say this accused shoplifter was leaving this Family Dollar right here behind me when a store employee attempted to confront him. When he did, police say things turned physical. The accused shoplifter started hitting the employee, and police say that it was apparent to them that he had been hit in the face several times. Police tell us for some reason he had a chainsaw on him, like I said, but it was not used in the confrontation. Plus, they tell us the encounter was caught on surveillance video that they were able to watch. All of this happening just after noon today on Winkler Drive, that's just off of the Gulf Freeway. When the employee started to fall back during that confrontation, police say he shot the accused shoplifter. The accused shoplifter collapsed right outside of a neighboring business where a woman named T works. She told us she heard the gunshots.
We lock the door quite often when we hear stuff like this. You know, we walk over to the window, we look down, we see this commotion happening on the floor.
And the man who was shot was taken to the hospital. We're told that he is stable. As for the Family Dollar employee, we're told that he stayed on the scene. He was questioned here at the store and released. We've seen today that this Family Dollar is extremely busy. If this is the store that you shop at, it is closed